correct?
Mm-hmm.
So find the solutions. What are we going to do?
So would you just um I forget the first step.
Well, what do you notice right here?
The graph.
So do you think he's trying to get you to graph it?
Yeah.
Yep. So here's our graph.
Yeah.
What part of the graph is going to answer the question?
The ones on the x-axis.
Okay. So I'm going to click on them, -6, +4. Now it is important to know, okay, see how it just says X only and it doesn't ask for coordinates?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say -6, 4. I don't know if that's the way I'm supposed to answer this question. It doesn't say. I guess I'm supposed to. Does it make sense that I do it that way? That I use, that I just use a comma to separate the answers?
Yeah.
Is this one that tells you whether you get it right or not?
Yeah, but I think you have to like submit it first to see then.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, like submit it as in, go to the end of the whole thing and submit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe because I'm previewing it, it won't do that for me. Well, we know we got it right. Um, okay. So this would be the same type of thing. Y equals x squared minus 4x. I've been trying to figure out why you've been struggling with different tests. Do you think you go too fast? Are you
Maybe I think so sometimes. It's because like sometimes I miss like little things.
You do. So there are things that I saw on the last one that I'm like, well, he knows how to do that, and you did part of it correct, but not all of it correct. And I thought, okay, but we went over that. I know he knows how to do that. So just take your time when you're doing this. Like, what do you think the answer to this question is?
2
Yeah, that's
or
it. And there's only one answer, right? Because it only touches the x-axis once. Okay, the table shows input and output values from this equation. What is the best approximate solution from the choices below? Approximate solution. Oh, okay. So they're trying to look for a 0. Okay, and they've given you some values, some x values and y values. I don't think clicking on this is going to help. Nope. Remember how you said it's on the x-axis? What y value, if I come back here, what's the y value here on the x-axis?
0.
It's 0. So I'm looking here at my table to see when I think that it's going to have a y value of 0. But I see right here, you see how it goes from negative to positive?
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't it have to be in between these?
Yeah.
So that means the answer to my question has to be between these. It has to be between 0.6 and 0.7. Which answer is between 0.6 and 0.7?
0.65.
Yes. But that's what I'm doing. I'm looking here and I see when it changes from negative to positive, and then I go over here and go, oh, well, it has to be between these two over here. What is the factored form of the function shown below? What do you think, based on what you see on the picture?
Would it just be like x minus 2?
Well, x minus 2 would go with that one right there.
Oh, yeah. So x plus 2?
That is true. X plus 2 does go with that one.
And then x minus 3?
Correct. X minus 3. That is the correct answer to this question. All right. Solve this equation by factoring. All right, you tell me what to do.
So would you divide by 8?
No. What do you think my arrow means?
Plus 35.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you get to use any notes on this quiz?
Yeah, I'm writing these down because we get like a paper.
Good. You definitely need to do that. Okay. Now, they've told me to factor it. So, I'm going to break it into two parentheses, and I know it's got to be 3x and 1x. Now, my factors of 35 are 1 and 35, and 5 and 7. There's not a whole lot of options. What combo do you think would be useful? Boy, I don't understand why this...
5 and 7?
Yeah, but this doesn't factor. Like, you can put the 5 and you can put the 7, but you're not going to get them to work out because they add up to way more than 8.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It's just that 3x squared plus 8x plus 35.
Okay. Now, remember I have my graphing calculator back up here?
Yeah.
Let's just try it. 3x squared plus 8x. Now, you won't get any credit for this. You do have to show the factoring. What does it mean when a parabola doesn't cross the x-axis?
There's no solution.
There are no solutions. That's when we were struggling to factor this, there's a reason we were struggling to factor it, because I was supposed to type no solution. There's nothing, I mean, unless you know, unless there's a notation that you guys like to use. But yeah, that was the reason we couldn't factor it. And once we start getting the feeling that it won't factor, that's when we need to realize, oh, there's no answers here. All right, what about the square root of 27x to the 13th? Now, I can show you a way to do this question, but it might, I don't know if it's the same way you practiced this. Did you guys talk about perfect squares?
Yeah.
4, 9, 16, 25. What's the biggest one in this list that goes into 27? But it has to
9.
go in perfectly. 9 is correct. How many times does 9 go into 27?
3.
Good. Now, do you understand why I'm breaking this up into 12 and 1 extra? I took the 13, I broke it up into 12 and 1 extra. Do you know why?
No.
Okay. Well, the index that's sitting on the outside of these square roots is a 2. And we want to know how many times that 2 goes into 13. Well, 2 goes into 12 nicely, but it has 1 left over. How many times does 2 go into 12?
6.
6. What is the square root of 9?
3.
So my final answer to this question is going to look like this. And
Okay.
I need to know if that makes sense to you or does not make sense to you.
Yeah, it does. Because I remember that's what we do in class.
So pull it apart with the perfect squares over here, and then anything that's extra goes inside. So let's try again. Oh, come on. Why did it jump down? There we go. Okay, why did it do that? Square root, square root. So in my list of numbers, what number goes into 98 perfectly?
Is it 36?
Well, take your calculator right now and divide 98 divided by 36. 98 divided by 36.
Mm-hmm. 49.
Ah, 49 goes in 2 times. Now, what about the 6? X to the 6th. Do all the x's go in the perfect one, or do we have any extras?
Extras?
We do not have any extras. 2 goes into 6 perfectly.
Okay.
No leftover x's, no extras. So what's the square root of 49?
7.
What about, how many times does 2 go into 6?
3.
So we have our answer. What in the world? Come on. I don't know, maybe I need to type 7x. Okay, I don't know what is going on with formative. Okay. Let's try that trick again. Weird. Strange. Which equations have -5 and 5 as solutions? I hate it when it jumps. Maybe I should just do that. Here, I'll slide this over here. Okay. Now, for -5 and 5 to both be solutions, one of the things you could do is you could take -5 and plug it in and see if you get a good answer, or +5. So what happens when you plug in -5? Do you get 0?
Yeah.
You didn't even type it on a calculator, did you?
Wait, I thought -5.
Times -5. What is -5 times -5?
Oh, that's 25.
Ah, that's 25. And so then you have 25 plus 25.
That's
That's
50.
not, yeah, that's not 0. See, that's why I knew you never tried it. You just said yes. So, next time, just try it. So, how about the next one? If I plug in -5 or +5 and square them, do I get 10? If I square that, do I get 10?
No.
Okay, so that can't be an answer. The next one says -4, and then I have -5 squared equals -100. Is that true? Use your calculator.
Um, Wait, mine isn't showing, like, it says it's like an error.
So you're typing -4 parenthesis -5 and a square on the outside of the parenthesis.
Oh, yeah, it does equal -100.
Okay. So switch it and change it to +5 and see if you get -100.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have an answer to that one. Okay, what about the last one? Try the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know that one works. Which equation has no real solutions? Now, no real solutions, so let's see here. We can divide by -2, so that gives me x squared equals 2. Can you get good solutions out of that when you take the square root?
No.
So what you're looking for is a negative number under a radical. If you start solving this and you get a negative number under the radical, that is something that has no real solutions. This clearly is not that situation. So I don't need to even type it on a calculator. I don't need to find the answer. I am looking for the square root of a negative number. So I'll go to the next one. 6x squared. Move the 5 over to the other side. What is 4 minus 5?
1.
-1.
-1.
Got to be careful on that stuff. Then what do you do next?
Divide by 6.
Divide by 6. So now we have x squared equals -1 over 6. If we take a square root, did we get a situation where we had a negative number under a radical?
Yeah.
That is our answer. That's the equation that has no real solutions. So that's what you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So question 10, given the equation x squared given the equation x squared plus 8x plus c equals 0, for which value of c would the equation have one real answer? Okay. Now, I think that this is a discriminant question. Do you remember this thing called the discriminant?
No.
It's the part under the radical in the quadratic formula. Do you remember the quadratic formula?
Yeah.
Okay, so this thing sits under the radical. It's called the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. And if b squared minus 4ac, now b squared here is 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times c. We want that discriminant to equal 0. If the discriminant equals 0, then we have one real solution. Does any of this sound familiar?
Yeah.
So we need to solve this equation. Can you tell me how to solve it?
Multiplying -4 and 1.
Yep, you can multiply all that together and get negative 4c. And what is 8 squared?
64.
Okay, so tell me how to solve this.
Subtract 64 on the other side.
Good. What answer do you get?
Would it be negative 64 over -4?
Yeah, that's true, but you better figure out what that is.
16.
That is positive 16. Does that make sense what we did?
Uh-huh.
Okay, hopefully, do you have all that written in your notes?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 12, what are the exact solutions to this? Okay, tell me what to do first.
The discriminant?
Nope.
Or would it just be -5?
-5. Excellent choice. So now we have x minus 7 squared equals 75. Now what?
Square root the x
Yep.
minus 7 squared?
And the 75.
And 75.
So now I have positive and negative square root. Now, when you start looking at your list of perfect squares, what number in this list goes into 75 perfectly?
25.
How many times?
3.
You're correct. So now we have x minus 7 equals plus and minus 5 square root 3. Does that make sense what we've done so far?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what to do last.
Would it just be plus or minus 5 square root of 3?
Well, you got to get x by itself, and right now we have x minus 7.
Add 7 to 5.
Ah, yes. So plus or minus 5 square root 3, and then plus 7. So there's two answers. And so we're gonna type out two different answers here. If it lets me type. 5 square root 3 plus 7. We'll put a comma. Negative 5 square root 3 plus 7. Do you see how I typed them out separately?
Yeah.
Because he wants them exact, no decimals, separated with a comma. So what are we going to do? Why does it look like question 10 wasn't done? Did we miss question 10? Or we didn't type our answer in? We had 16, but we never typed the answer. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to do on this one?
Add 23.
Add 23. Moves that over. X plus 2 squared equals 80. Now what?
Square root them both.
Good. Plus and minus. Now we're going to break this up into perfect squares again. In our list, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. What's the largest number in this group that goes into 80? Has to go in perfectly.
Is it 4?
It's bigger than 4.
16.
Yep, 16 goes in 5 times. So now we have x plus 2 equals what? Plus and minus?
16 and 5.
Well, what's the square root of 16?
Oh, yeah. 4.
4. So get x by itself.
Subtract 2.
Correct. So tell me what to type.
4 square root of 5, comma.
Well, what's that? What comes after that 4 radical 5?
Minus 2.
Minus 2, comma.
Negative 4 square root of 5 minus 2.
Yeah. You've got to get used to working things out, and then when you're going and putting your answers in, double checking that you're putting the answer that you have the work for. Your teacher has hidden your score. Interesting. Okay, out of these selections, now, is there do you have something else you want me to go look at on Canvas?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to practice different questions out of these and make something up different and see if you can do it? If so, do you want me, which ones do you think would be, since you wrote them all down, Which ones do you think would be the ones that you would want to go over?
Something like number 4.
Number 4, okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause my screen and I'm going to make a new one up for you. Okay? What do you think when you look at this picture? What's the equation? Remember, I want it in factored
So
form.
y equals x, and then minus 1.25. Is that what that is? Or just 1?
You mean,
Yeah.
yeah?
And then x plus 3.
That would be a good answer for this question.
Okay, so is that like the way I would write it, like the y equals?
That's exactly the way I wrote it. And that's exactly the way I typed it into Desmos.
Okay.
What else?
Um, could we do another one like 10?
Number 10. Okay. Which equation has no real solutions? Okay, so okay. What do you do to solve the first one?
So you would put uh wait, so I was kind of confused. I'm like, how do you know which one, like, what you're supposed to put in for x?
You don't know what to put in for x because there's no answer. You have to solve each one of these equations. So that's why you've got to go through. Remember, we're looking for the square root of a negative number. As soon as we see that situation show up, we know we're done.
Okay. So am I just gonna like
I need you to,
divide by 5?
yeah, that's a good start. Divide by 5. Oops. And that gives me x squared equals 2. Now what?
Square root those?
Yes. Did you end up with the square root of a negative number?
No.
So that cannot be the right answer. So that has to have solutions, not no solutions. Okay, so we go to the next one. How do we solve this one?
Subtract 8.
Subtract 8. Okay, good. 3 minus 8. What is 3 minus 8?
-5.
Okay, now what?
Square root them.
Cannot square root, right? Remember, on the very first equation, you divided by 5 at the beginning. There's a number sitting in front of that x squared that you have to divide by. What number do you have to divide by?
1.
-1. Got to divide by -1. That gives me positive x squared equals positive 5. Now when you take the square root, did you end up with the square root of a negative number?
No.
So that means that one's out. Okay, so now we go to the next one. 8x squared plus 9 equals 3. Tell me what to do to solve this.
Subtract 9.
Subtract 9, good. So now we know that 8x squared equals -6. Now what?
Divide by 8.
Divide by 8. So now we have x squared equals -6 over 8. Now what?
Simplify that.
We can, yeah. X squared equals -3/4.
And then the square root those.
Did we get the square root of a negative number?
Yeah.
That's the one that has no real solutions.
Okay.
So you're going to have to solve each one of these simple little equations until you find that situation where you're trying to take the square root of a negative number.
Okay.
Okay. What else do you want to go over more?
Number 10.
Well, you want. Oh, I'm sorry. I did number 9, didn't I? You asked for number 10.
Yeah, that's fine because I went to go over that one too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see here. Given the equation. Okay. So given the equation x squared plus. Oops. I should probably make up one so that it's nice. Which doesn't even make sense. Oh, no. Did I do something wrong on the last time I did number? I think I did something wrong the last time. Let's redo. I know we talked about the discriminant, but I think I did it wrong. I know we have to have it equal to 0, but I think I put in the wrong number for B. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
The A value is 1. I put in the wrong number for B. I think I put in an 8 and I was supposed to put in an 18. So I misread the number. And that is going to cause me to get the wrong answer even though I'm doing the process right. Okay. So let's correct ourselves. How do I solve this?
-4 times 1.
And what is -4 times 1 times C?
-4C.
Yep. What about 18 squared?
324.
Okay. So, how do we solve it?
Subtract 324.
Okay, good.
And then divide by -4.
Okay. And what do you end up with?
81.
Yeah, that was the right answer. That one should have been 81. Now, there is another way. Well, I don't think I want to do that. That is the best way to do that. The discriminant has to be 0. And so I just have to plug in my A and my B into my discriminant formula and solve for C. Do you want me to make another one up like that?
Yeah, one more.
Okay. So we're going to start with x squared minus 6x plus something, C, equals 0. So something squared minus 4 times something, C, equals 0. So what goes in the first blank?
Wait. -3.
No, I don't see a -3 in the top at all. Remember, you want a b value. It's b squared minus 4ac.
Oh, so it'd be -6.
Ah, -6. And then what's the a value?
1.
1. Okay, so talk me through this. What do we have?
You get -4c,
Yes, that's true.
and then 36,
Okay, good.
and then subtract 36,
Okay.
and then divide by 4.
Divide by 4 or
Or
-4?
-4.
-4. So what would C be in this case?
9.
Correct. Um, okay, so what else?
Mm,
Out of any of those ones that you wrote down that looks confusing,
we can do 5.
okay, 5. Don't be moving on. Okay, solve it by factoring. Now, did you guys do ones that did factor?
Yeah.
So, did you do ones like this, x squared? Let's see. So that would be x squared minus 4x minus 21 equals 0. Or maybe it started out like this, x squared minus 4x equals 21. What's the first step that you have to do?
Wait, are we doing the x squared minus 4x equals 21?
Yep, so start with that. What's the very first step?
Subtract 21.
Yes. And if I do that, then I get this equation over here. So now I want you to factor it.
So, wait. Should I put that then into like the graphing calculator?
Well, you could. Did you guys talk about what to do to factor it, or did you just go ahead and graph it?
We just graphed it.
Okay. Then that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and graph it. That's a good idea. When it said factoring, I didn't know. So I was assuming that you guys worked on factoring instead of just graphing. But if you guys just did graphing, then I would come back here and I would type y equals x squared minus 4x minus 21. Okay, and then I would take a look at my picture and I would find my two x-intercepts, and then I would actually do my factoring. So what does my factored form have to look like?
X plus 3 and x minus 7.
That is true. Now let me go back and look at number 5. Number 5 said solve by factoring. But if you're telling me that we can graph, then we don't have to actually do factoring. We can go ahead and graph it, look at the picture, and see what it says. And then, of course, my answers, I list them out, -3, 7. Now, what happens if it is this one? What happens if you bring that value over and you get this and you type it into your graph and you see this picture?
It'd be no solution?
Correct. You have to be ready for that. No solution.
Okay.
If it doesn't hit the x-axis, then you know that there's no solution at all. So, what else do you want to go over?
That's all I had to ask about.
Okay. If you feel good about it, then we can stop. But I just want to make sure that you've got everything written down, and you don't. If you're looking at it, you don't have any questions or something that's like, okay, I don't know what to do with this one. Because
No, I feel good about all of them.
okay, make sure you go slow. Make sure you take your time.